That's interesting. My whole house needs to be repaired. Anyways, let's get back to the bees. So, we're going to take our apiary. And you know what? I've realized this is like the one mod that I don't need a tutorial for right now. And it feels good. Okay. Die, you jerk. Alright. So we're going to set this up in a general location. We need flowers nearby, which we don't have. So I just wanted to do a test, and I don't think that this is going to work. But I thought I'd try it anyways. Let's put our Meadows drones, Meadows bees right near this and see if it works. So the way you'll be able to tell that they're doing things is you'll see these little bees flying out of the little apiary. And the way you tell if it's working, which already I can tell it's probably not, is this should go down. Now, the fact that it hasn't given me an error yet makes me think that maybe it is right here. No flowers. So normally it would have gone down. So that's how I knew things are not working correctly. So let's go somewhere out here. Do we have any bones? No, we don't. And extra biomes XL. I think it'll work with these flowers. If not, we're doing a little test. And we put these near it. And it should deplete some if it's working. And if it doesn't, then I think what we can do to start the process is we'll have to go get some flowers. I don't think it's working. Let's go get some flowers and actually bone meal preferably if I have some down there. Because then we can generate some new stuff. So the forest guys, I believe they might need trees. We'll be able to tell pretty quickly. If we had a beealyzer, we could analyze them and know exactly what they needed. But since we don't, we're going to have to go with what we know. Okay, so I've got a tree, a rubber tree sapling. And maybe we should be using like a normal sapling for this. But I'm going to set this guy right here because we're going to come back. We've got ourselves a little pigman there. Ooh, maybe it is working. Oh, it is working. Nice. And we already got a honeycomb, but those don't actually generate that fast. So this guy apparently works on biomes XL. But Mine Factory Reloaded, I think it'll work because it has other mods for it. So what we want to do is we want to really focus this particular one on making another forestry type drone. But let's come back over to this way. And we go back here. We have another Meadows drone. What I actually want to do, you guys can see this is depleting pretty quickly, but to show you guys how things work, we're going to take, this is already going to give us 2 Meadows princesses, or 1 Meadows princess and 2 Meadows drones. So this is already good to go. What I want to do is I want to put this forest with this Meadows drone, and this is either going to give us a forest queen, or a princess, or a Meadows princess, and just a hodgepodge of different things. So it's really, really, really important that we make sure that we keep breeding these guys over and over and over. Like I said, it's a 1 in 8 chance. So 8 run-throughs of this, and we should start to see some common stuff going in. Okay, you guys, so I wanted to bring you in here to show you sort of basic genetics, and this may be going way over some of your heads, but if that is, then you can just skip ahead unless you want to learn a little something. So right here I have a basic table here. I forget what this thing is called, but I believe this is the way it works. So each time these things are bred, we have a 15% chance of getting a common drone. So this would be a 15% chance. This would be a 15% chance. This would be a 15% chance. And this would be a 15% chance of getting this. So I put a Nova frame in here, and as soon as it has like a little tick update, it pops out these little drones for me. So you might notice we have a forest princess out of our meadows plus forest, and we've got 2 forest drones. So we got a total of 3 together. Now you might think, okay, well, we don't have a common drone, so we didn't get that 15% chance the 4 times, which is 60% chance or something like that. I don't know if that's exactly how it works. So this Beealizer is fueled by the honey drops, and we put this guy in. You see what's going on here? We've got all these different things, all these different attributes. We've got a active and an inactive. So it is a forest princess, but it has meadows in it. So let's take a look at these. Okay, forest and meadows. And forest and meadows. So we got the genes mixed. So this allows us now to have a little bit of a different setup. Alright, so we're coming back here. Let's take a look at these guys again. Run them through our Beealizer. We got a full-blooded meadows. Now this is why it's very important, right? Now we have a full-blooded forest, but this is a full-blooded meadows. Now remember how I was talking in the video about how if we wanted to subject our a forest drone to diamond, then we could do that by continuously adding in our forest, or I mean diamond drones in to convert it. Well, this has a meadows, so there would be 3 chances of getting a full-blooded meadows drone. So once we get a common gene expressed in it, in these guys, I'll show you guys how to best deal with that. So again, we had a forest with meadows. If we continue to add this in here, what we're gonna have is this be converted to a meadows. So if you can, what we want is we want to try and find a drone that has a mix in it. So like this. Okay? So we'll add this and this together, and hopefully they will have a common drone. Make a common drone, rather. Okay, you guys. See, right here we have a common drone gene expressed here. So we want to keep this guy on the side. By the way, you can shift for details. You'll see a forest common hybrid. And then this one is just normal. We'll keep that to the side because that is a mix. But we have a meadows drone purebred right here. So we'll throw these 2 together. Now there is a chance that none of these, okay, so we still have an expressed gene right there. There is a chance that this expressed gene will go away. So we need to be careful. The other thing is to note, later on you're going to want to find out about these pollination speeds and try and get them good and into a good spot. But the thing is that with a lot of these, you're just going to be putting them into a gene pool and continuously, and let's go ahead with time set 0. Oops, time set 0. You're almost always going to be just throwing them into a gene pool and expressing the genes that you want anyways. So it's not a big deal, but okay. So this is the next round, and you guys will have to count, but now we've got these forests, and we finally got a common princess. This is the first time we've seen the common. So as you guys can see, it's still a hybrid, a common meadows. So there is a chance that this common princess will go bye-bye. So what we want to do is we want to see if we can find one that has an express gene. Now, if you can't tell, this inactive meadows drone, okay? So that means that we want to try our best not to keep the meadows drone in there. So we're going to breed it with a forest drone. So hopefully you have another chance of mutation with this meadows drone, or this meadows part, and this forest part. That way we have a higher chance, and I believe this is the case, of getting a common breed. So a common queen and a common drone at the same time. And what we want is we want that full purebred to come out of this. Okay, so we got a common drone out of there, and we're going to be looking for, well, I want to keep this actually. We're going to be looking for, to see if that's a purebred. It is a purebred. So we have a pure common drone. Now, hopefully, yep. So now you guys see we're slowly transmitting this into, and this could be a throwaway right here, but we might be able to use it later to make, say, one of these purebreds into a common. But that's not ideal. So we're going to throw these in there. And now we have a pretty good chance of getting a purebred. But we might still have some forest genes expressed in there. One of the other things I forgot to add with why I used a purebred forest drone is because you don't want too many genes in the mix. If we have the meadows and the forest and the commons all being expressed in there, then it messes up the chances of us being able to get the common drone expressed. It's like in an election when you have 3 parties. When you have just 2 parties, it's easy for them to battle, and then one person can get elected over the other. But if you have a third party, it might take votes from the person that would normally win, cutting their wins in half, and then this party right here is able to win, even though they wouldn't have if there wasn't that third party involved. Okay, so we got the cultivated princess, which is actually pretty interesting. The cultivated princess isn't what we want, so we're going to have to kind of destroy that as best we can. But it may end up being that you do want the cultivated princess, which honestly you might want to. But it's really important that you try and keep this common drone. Thankfully, they're not too hard to make. But let's take a look first at the cultivated princess and how you make that. Oops. That's not what I wanted. Recipe. There we go. Okay. So the common is, or the cultivated is pretty much any basic bee with the common drone makes a cultivated. And this cultivated is going to be the way you make honey production right at the start. So about this time is when you're going to get your bee Elizer probably. I would recommend that with the common drone, you get it. Try and get it right off the bat, but, you know, you might not. So, 12% chance of getting the cultivated, and that pretty much wraps up my beginner's tutorial on breeding these guys. But it's pretty easy once you get started. You're just going to need a lot of honey to look through these bees. You'll notice that I looked through all 3 of them. You may not have enough honey. Out of all of this, and that's maybe because we're using the Nova frame, we haven't gotten 1 bit of honey. Honey can be rare at the start. That's going to do it for today's episode, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this made sense. I tried to explain it scientifically so those of you that are more mathematical can understand it, but I think I kind of screwed that up. But you guys at least saw how it works, so hopefully that will help you as you explore the bees. By the way, this Nova frame that I used, you can't get it in normal Minecraft. It's only found in creative mode. So don't get your hopes up on that. But there's a lot to bees, and I will explain a lot more in the future. But right now, I think that's good enough to get you started. Just keep getting royal jelly and pollen. If you want to, you can, of course, explore this mod and check out Generic Bee did a great tutorial on how to breed in forestry with these guys. But I think he doesn't go over the way to like actually get your common princesses and stuff a little bit easier, like I did, trying to figure it out mathematically, if you can. But without further ado, I will let you guys get back to what you are doing before watching this video. So, until then, or until next time, happy mining and crafting.